All right, good morning, class. I've got some personal things that makes it impossible for me to get to campus today, so I figured I wouldn't waste everybody's time. We won't lose any time in the semester, so we have the ability to do this by video. So we'll have a quick video class today. You will have received my email, hopefully, saying that we will not have classes today in person. But to look at the videos that are going to be posted, your link, look what you're here, it was on Moodle. All right, so continuing with the Form 1120, the corporate income tax return. When we last met, we talked a bit about the fact that we were going to end up having a lot of support forms that feed numbers onto the main 1120. And the two that I promised that we would get to next would be the 1125A and the 1125E. So let me get those up. I have them available. Let's see, figure out how we do this sharing things. Pull up as I've done this. Okay, so this is the 1125A, cost of goods sold. This is for, as it says on the form here, attached to Form 1120, 1120C, 1120F, 1120S, 1065. So this form can be used in a variety of different places. But anyhow, this is the cost of goods sold form. So realistically, we have information that we need to fill out, but it's not a very long form. And the actual instructions are right here as part of the form. So there's not a separate instructions document that the IRS requires you to read. It's right connected to the form. And of course, you do have the information that's for the descriptors on the form itself. So I have put out for your purposes a fax situation for Acme Inc. And Acme Inc. has 3 officers. They have Miller, Witowski, and Giannini. I give you the ending inventory of raw materials, purchases of raw materials, beginning inventory of raw materials. All of these items are at cost, and then we have direct labor that's going to go into the manufacturing. So some of the information comes to here, but I don't want to start with the 1125A, although it's, logically before 1125E, we actually need to start with 1125E. So let me stop sharing this form and go to the 1125E. Not available here yet for a second, so I'm sorry, I need to bring that up out of my computer so that we can do that. Here we go. So the 1125E is now available. Let me get back to where I need to be so I can hit the button for share. Here we go. Share the 1125E. All right, so 1125E is compensation of officers. Also available for use for many different forms, 1120, 1120C, 1120F, 1120 REIT, Real Estate Income Trust, 1120 RIC, or 1120S. This form is just the form. We do not have the instructions. The instructions are a separate document that you can get at the IRS website. But I don't think this is so complicated that we need to go there. So let's start here. So we do, of course, need to put our name of our taxpayer in here. So it's Acme Inc. We do have an employer identification number 25-123 2345. So get into the habit of making sure you put in the taxpayer name and their taxpayer identification number on the form. All right, so we need to disclose the name of the officer. So if you look at the document that I gave you, the first officer is D. Miller. His social security number was 123 should be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Percent of time devoted to the business, we're going to say 100%. He has 10% of the ownership of the stock. It's only common. There's nothing in preferred. And his compensation was, I believe, $100,000. $100,000. Okay, so that's our first person. 2. This is going to be G W I T O S K Y. G Witowski. His number is 234567890 equals, oh well, it's close enough. Percent of time devoted to business 100. Percent of stock owned. I think he has a 5% owner of the common. There's no preferred to talk about. And Mr. Witowski makes $90,000 per year in his position. Our third officer is A. Giannini. His social security number is 345678901. Percent of time devoted to business is 100%. He is a 5% owner in the business, common stock, nothing in the way of preferred stock. There is no preferred stock. And his compensation is $95,000. Okay, so if we had more officers, we would then have to list them, but let's just leave those be. Total compensation of officers. So what do we have? We have 90 and 95 is 185 plus 100 is $285,000. So line 2 here is going to be $285,000. All right. Line 3 is compensation of officers claimed on Form 1125A or elsewhere on return. Now, in the fact situation, I said that Giannini's pay was 50% devoted directly to the manufacturing process, and it should be counted against direct labor in the making of the product. If you remember from the 1125A, one of the things that goes into the calculation of cost of goods sold is, of course, direct labor. So if we're saying that half of his direct labor is directly related to the manufacture of the product, so half of his 95,000 should be as direct labor. So it's going to be reported elsewhere. That's 47,500, I believe. I could have made these numbers a little bit easier for myself, couldn't I have? Let's see. Calculator, get the calculator up. And back up. 285, 0, minus 47,500 equals 237,500. All right, let me get that in. Stop share and then reshare. I lost it there. All right, so this is going to be 237,500. I think. Yeah, I think so. All right, so that completes the Schedule E, 1125E. So let me stop sharing for a second. Let me go back to picking up an 1120. Let's see if I can share the 1120. So this becomes compensation of officers, line 12 on the 1120, attached form 1125E. So $237,500 will end up on line 12 there. Okay. Now that leaves us to go back and pick up for line 2 here, the 1125A. So once again, let's see if I can get that. A second, I have to move things around on my screen. Give me a second, I apologize. Okay, try this again. Okay, 1125A, cost of goods sold. Put your taxpayer in here. Or not. All right. So now we just have to plug in the numbers. This is actually a very simple process. So inventory at the beginning of the year was $320,000. 20,000. Purchases, 2,500,000. $2,500,000. Cost of labor, we have labor here as $1,950,000. So $1,950,000, but we have to add into that the direct labor that we're considering Giannini's money to be. So using my calculator, $1,950,000 plus 47,500 equals 1,997,500. So 1,997,500. Line 4, additional 263A costs, nothing there. Line 5, other costs, nothing there. Line 6, total, add lines 1 through 5. So, oh geez, let me get my calculator going again. Okay, so 320, oops, 20,000 plus 2,500,000 plus 1,997,500 equals 4,817,500. So 4,817,500. Okay. Line 7, inventory at end of year. We do have that information. Ending inventory 295,000. 295. Line 8, cost of goods sold. Subtract line 7 from line 6. Get my calculator back up. 4,817,500 minus 295. 000 equals 4,522,500. 4,522,500. All right, assuming my math is correct, our cost of goods sold is going to be 4,522,500. The check on that would be the difference between the beginning and ending inventory. So we ended up with a reduction in inventory. So the difference between them would be cost of goods, because that came out of inventory and went into goods. So that would be what, 25,000 there plus the 252,500,000 here, plus the labor, all of those added together would be the cost of goods sold. Just continuing on with other things that are on this form. Check all methods used for valuing closing inventory. So I had told you in the tax situation, everything was at cost. Check if there was a write down of subnormal goods. No, we don't have any of that. Check if the LIFO inventory method was adopted this tax year for any goods. We didn't have any change. We did not adopt LIFO this year. If the LIFO inventory method was used for this tax year, enter the amount of closing inventory computed under LIFO. Well, let's just say we use FIFO because I don't want to do that. If property is produced or acquired for resale to the rules of Section 263 apply. We're not doing that, so we don't have to answer that. Was there any change in determining quantities, cost, or valuations between all opening and closing inventory? The answer is going to be no, because we didn't do anything crazy about determining, changing the way we determine quantities or cost or any of those different things. Realistically, that's the end of 1125A. Now, once again, this is a form. So the IRS gives us a form to use to calculate the cost of goods sold. But those of you that, well, you're all accounting majors, you've seen how you calculate cost of goods sold. And I don't think there's anything in here that is that would bother you. Probably all very consistent with the way that you would do it under generally accepted accounting rules. The one thing you have to remember, though, is that the IRS, the tax code, it's all about categorization. It's all about making sure that we have things in the right spots so that they can determine deductibility and whether things can be offset against other things. The only complication here is that there is a relationship between the 1125A and the 1125E. So if you have any of your officers' salary that is going to end up being put into the direct labor costs, you need to report the gross pay or gross compensation on the 1125E. Then you need to deduct it on the 1125E because you're going to take that payroll cost here in cost of goods sold as direct labor. So it's going to net out on the 1125E. It'll end up the amount that comes out of compensation will end up on line 3 under cost of labor, but you have to make sure that you add the direct labor costs of the regular workers. You have to add their compensation to the compensation of the officer that was removed from the 1125E to come up with an inflated number here on line 3 of the 1125A. So that being said, okay, so this here, although it doesn't give it to us directly, I guess no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Subtract 7 from 6, enter here on form 1120, page 1, line 2, or the appropriate line of your tax return. So if you're using one of these other tax returns, then that's what you end up with. So 4522500, 4522500. Oops. 42522 I can't remember the number. Yeah, moving from the back page to the front page here, I lost it. So, but anyhow, right here, line 2, cost of goods sold, attached form 1125A. So you're going to end up bringing your information from the 1125A. Down here, of course, remember we do have the information here from line 12, which is the number that's being brought forward from the 1125E. That being said, that's all there really is to the 1125A and the 1125E. You have to take them together because they are interrelated forms. They do end up causing you to move things from one side to another, from one place to another. So let that be a warning that you have to do them together. That's all I'm going to bother with today. I am going to post a homework assignment. So what you could do is you could use the remainder of the allotted class time to do the homework assignment. It's out there on Moodle. You, of course, will see that. It'll be right next to where you saw the link for this video. So that's all I have for today. I will be back on campus on Tuesday. So we will be back in the classroom and we'll go over the homework assignments, and then we'll continue on with the remainder, the last page of the 1120. So that's all I have for today. So appreciate everybody's, excuse me, I appreciate everybody's attention. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. Thanks. Bye-bye.